Right behind me here is the Huntington Beach AES power station, and was formerly going to be the site of a big desalination plant here in Huntington Beach, California. As of 2022, this project is no longer in the works. There's a Coastal Commission ruling that unanimously decided against the construction of the power plant. But this plant brings up some very interesting environmental justice problems, in my opinion. First of all, it is located in an area which has fairly high poverty. Um, the city of Huntington Beach, especially the area it's going to be built around, is about 30%, 50% low income, and about 30% below the poverty line. And what's interesting about this project specifically is the big company Poseidon that was planning on building the $1.4 billion plant here actually tried to flip environmental justice issues on their head and claim that the environmental justice issue of water insecurity would actually be worse than the industrial issues that would happen as a result of building this plant here. Unsurprisingly, as you can see, there's already industry here, and this is something that they described as a industrial appetite, which seems like a fancy term for saying that they've already had stuff here. And this is because it's fairly close to very low income area of Huntington Beach. That's loud. Huntington Beach as a whole, especially in this area, is about 50% low income and about 20%, 27% below the federal poverty line. And this is an area that is already home to other industrial activities, including a toxic waste dump. But it's also right next to a high school. It's right next to a big park, so it's right next to a lot of things. But if you look ecologically, on the other side of me is the Bolsa Chica wetlands, which is also a very important area. And that kind of goes to why the project was officially shot down. They cited a lot of ecological concerns, especially if you look right here, right on the ocean, Catalina Island, just 26 miles off the coast of here. San Clemente Island, another 70 off the coast. And we're also very close to some marine protected areas like those in Newport Beach and Dana Point, or Laguna Beach, excuse me. And they looked at the ecological destruction that this type of plant would have caused. In their ruling, they did also factor in environmental justice implications. But since they never actually built the plant, they couldn't, luckily, since they did not build the plant, they weren't able to find any specific environmental justice concerns, besides the fact that there's already a lot of industrial activity here, and it would likely worsen things. One major concern with this plant being built, was the potential rate increases, or not even potentially, impending rate increases. As I have spoken about already, in Carlsbad, since they built the Poseidon plant down there, year over year, they've seen massive rate increases, up to 300% for ratepayers. And looking forward to in the future, 2027, it's going to go up by another 45. So the people of Huntington Beach and the people of South Orange County were not into this. This is another instance actually where citing clash with the Municipal Water District of Southern California. The Municipal Water District was one of the major people that gave their input in trying to get this project canceled, and luckily they did. One interesting piece about this was what Poseidon actually said they were going to do, and what Poseidon said the actual concerns were going to be. To them, the concerns were not increased industrial activity. They were not increased levels of emissions. It wasn't trucks. It wasn't the maintenance. It wasn't the noise. To them, the real environmental justice problem was a lack of water and a lack of jobs, which, whether or not that's true, it's up to them. But to me, it's very interesting that a big company like Poseidon, instead of ignoring the potential environmental justice issues with their construction, actually tries to co-opt that message and use it for their own gain, even if it's not necessarily true, and if what they're doing is actually going to make it worse.